Charles Dickens was famous during the time in which he lived and is still regarded as one of the most famous and well-known authors in classic literature. In fact, I'd assume if you went around and asked people to name classic authors, they could probably name Charles Dickens. What you may not know is that long before he was a novelist, he was actually a journalist in 19th century Victorian England, and he wrote about the politics and social issues of that time period. It was the Industrial Revolution, and capitalism became a major issue for England. Lots of money was coming into the country, and while there was growth in the middle class, the rich also got much richer. A growth in population also left many homeless and without jobs. Children were put to work, and the average work schedule was absolutely grueling. This was long before unionization, so many people worked long hours with few days off. Bank holidays didn't exist, so workers had very few leisure days to look forward to. And as the upper class became richer, the middle class started to become the lower class. Land and property ownership went to the rich, who would then charge rent to those with small salaries as a way to keep the working class working. Dickens was also a Christian, but spoke out against the Catholic and evangelical church of the time. He was upset with the ways the church restricted its followers from having leisure time and ultimately enjoying life, asking them instead to devote themselves to work and prayer. Dickens wrote about these things in his fiction as well. A Christmas Carol is really a story about a man who chooses greed over humanity and work over love, as a way to showcase his and many other people's frustration with the upper class in hopes that the people in power would change. It's a story that's dreary and bleak, but it's also one with lightheartedness and charm. Rather than focusing on the Christian side of Christmas, he wrote a story about a holiday that stripped society of social class and filled it instead with love and good deeds.